What's up YouTube? It's your boy Mufe, and I'm back with another video. So yeah, but before I even go on, I have my bro here, this Timmy. Say hi.
Hi guys, hi Mr.
Bro, look at the muscles, bro. Just how do I zoom in on? Oh, don't worry. Bro, see how the light is deflecting off those. Okay, it is well. I also start my fitness journey too. So I look up to him for when it comes to weightlifting and all these muscle training and all of that. Yeah, I actually started, but I've not been so consistent. I should start this coming week. Yes, I should start this coming week. I'll let you guys know how that goes though. But I should start this coming week. Yeah. So basically, I have great news, guys. Yeah, great news. I sold 16k worth of clothes, of t-shirts. You remember in in the previous video, I told you about the t-shirt, the plain t-shirt business that I plan on starting. I've not yet officially launched it, but I've gotten some t-shirts here. So I just sold a few amongst my family members and all. So they bought some t-shirts and all, and I made not 16k dollars, please, naira, but it's a good start. It's a good start. Yeah. So I sold a black t-shirt. So remember I showed you this the last time. I sold a black t-shirt and a white t-shirt over here. Yeah, I sold about 3, which all came to about 16k. Yeah. So that's a good start. I have high hopes for this business. Yeah. So basically I wanted to just update you guys. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Alright, we're back. Yeah. So the main reason I'm actually shooting this video was to discuss something that I feel everyone goes through, or everyone experiences. Yeah, so I want to talk about the very thing that hinders each and every one of us. The one thing that has either hindered us in the past, or will hinder you, or will continue to hinder you if you don't have plans to conquer it. Yeah. So the truth of the matter is that you have an enemy. Yes, you have an enemy. You have something that is always going to come against you, that's always going to form some kind of resistance against the goals and aspirations you have for yourself, or the things you actually want to accomplish in your life. Yeah. And yes, you guessed it right, it's the old lady in your village trying to come against your destiny and pulling the roots of your salvation. Just joking. Yeah, but the one thing that I feel is the greatest obstruction to you accomplishing your goals is fear. Yeah, fear. I know each and every one of us has either had a fear, or things that they are scared of doing, or things that they are scared of doing, basically. Yeah. So I feel everyone has fears, but one thing that I've come to realize is that we all have fears, but the difference between those that make it in life, or those that accomplish their goals, and those that do not accomplish their goals, is that they do the thing that they are scared of, irrespective of the fear. And that is the definition of courage. It's not the absence of fear, but it's doing the things you need to do despite the fear in your heart. Basically, what is fear? So fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by either a threat by danger, pain, or emotions, a whole lot of things. So first of all, fear is just an emotion. It's just an emotion. It's not real. It's just a facade. It's just a facade, something that appears to be real, but it's not. I'm sure most of you have realized this. Most of the things that we are scared of is just in the mind. But then once you begin to think about it logically, you realize that what's the worst that can actually happen? Yes, I'm scared of putting out YouTube videos. I'm scared of doing content creation. I'm scared of doing it. I'm scared of doing that. Okay, so what's the worst that will happen? People are going to reject me. People are going to say no. Okay, they say no. All right, that means the channel is just not meant for them, or that means my business is just not meant for them, or maybe this is not just meant for them. But being scared of rejection is one of the major things that people go through, or people are trying to overcome. And as a person, I also feel that way. Before I started this YouTube channel, there were a whole lot of things I was scared of, and I just came up with excuses like I'm busy, or I'll do it later, or I procrastinated. So a whole lot of things, and one thing I realized is that once you take that first step, it all becomes easier. So let me give another analogy. Analogy. Yes, analogy. So imagine you're faced with you're put in front of a huge mountain, let's say Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro, all these ginormous mountains. Yeah. So imagine you're put in front of the mountain. Once you're put in front of the mountain, the mountain actually appears to be so huge and insurmountable. Let's say you have a chopper or you have a helicopter that comes to pick you, takes you up to the sky, and then takes you back. You realize that the further away you get from the mountain, the smaller it appears to be. Yeah, the smaller it appears to be. So it's just like fear. The more steps you take away from that fear and look at things logically, the more you realize how fickle or how minute that fear is, or how insignificant that fear is. So actually the things you could accomplish as a person. Yeah, the things you could accomplish as a person. So as I said earlier, fear is just an emotion. It's just an emotion that occurs in our minds. Yeah, so I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, and one thing that we are taught by the word of God is that as a man, we have three dimensions. We have the soul, we have the spirit, and we have the body. This is our physical body, and with this body we're able to access the physical realm. With our spiritual soul, we're able to contact God, and with our soul is basically the seat of our mind. That's where we have our emotions. That's how we're able to think logically. That's how we're able to take decisions. That's the seat of decision making. I feel that, as I said earlier, fear is just an emotion, and it all happens in our head, our soul, in our head. Yeah. So I want you to know this, that there's a constant battle in your mind. There's a constant battle in your mind. So it's either you are fearful, or you're full of positive thoughts, or you're full of positivity. It's either you're negative or you're positive. There's no middle ground, there's no lukewarmness. There's just one state. Either you're positive or negative. Either you are fearful or you're full of faith. Either of the two. So I want you guys to do this. There's a constant battle that happens in your mind, and if you are not in control, it's going to be run down by negative thoughts. It's going to be run down by fear, and those fears are going to come against the things that we desire, or the things that we want to accomplish as individuals. Yeah. So that's why it's very, very important that we guard our minds, that we guard our hearts, that we protect what gets into our hearts, what gets into our mind, that we protect the information or our minds from negative information or negative news or bad news. That's why I try my best not to watch the news. Not that I watch the news anyways. But you get what I mean. I try my best to protect my mind from negative things, bad videos or accident scenes, all those things. Yeah, I try not to look at those things too much and feed my mind with negative thoughts. Your mind is like a fertile soil. Yeah, it's like a fertile soil, has all the conditions it needs to grow a seed, from the seed to plants. Yeah, so it's a fertile soil, and whatever you plant in your mind will ultimately germinate, will ultimately grow roots deep in the soil, which is your mind. So think of your mind as a soil. Yeah, I actually learned this from my mom, someone that inspires me a lot, someone that she's my mentor and my mother at the same time. I don't know how that works, but she's someone I look up to and someone that inspires me. And she says this a lot. She says your mind is like a soil and thoughts are like seeds. Yeah, it doesn't matter the thoughts that you have, either negative or positive, but the thing is that once that seed is planted in the soil, which is your mind, so once that seed is planted in your mind, it begins to develop roots and form strongholds in your mind. Yeah, so if you give your mind or give yourself to negative thoughts, to fear, to self-doubt, to pity, to all these negative emotions, yeah, they begin to grow roots deep in your mind and affect your actions. Yeah, because whatever happens in your mind will ultimately become will ultimately manifest itself physically. Yeah, will ultimately manifest itself physically. That's why it's very important that we are careful about the seeds that we plant. So we ourselves are farmers, and we get to choose or decide which seeds are being planted in our minds. Yeah, so that's why we have to consciously plant positive seeds in our minds, so that they grow strongholds, and ultimately they affect our actions, or they affect the actions that we need to take to accomplish our goals. Yeah, but there's one thing that we have to take note of. We live in a negative world. Yeah, we live in a negative world where things happen every day, where we get to hear bad news back to back to back. If you're scrolling through a Twitter thread, your Twitter timeline, yeah, your Twitter timeline, you would see there's at least going to be bad news in one of those threads. Yeah, you know, you go outside, you see people fighting, you go outside, pass an accident scene or something. Yeah, so things happen all the time. Yeah, and we can't always account for the seeds that get planted in our mind. So let's put it this way: sometimes negative seeds can be like weeds, where as we plant our positive seeds, some of these weeds can get into the soil and begin to plant themselves. Yeah, so as a farmer would occasionally go for weeding, the weeding, or I don't even know what they call it. They usually have chemicals that remove weeds from that soil, so that it does not choke up the positive seeds or the seeds that they want to grow. Yeah, so from time to time you're gonna come in contact with negative thoughts. Yeah, but it's your responsibility as a person. It's your responsibility as a person to uproot those seeds before they grow, grow roots in your mind, and ultimately take control of your heart, of your actions. Yeah, so you have to be intentional about these things, because your greatest enemy is you. You have full control over the thoughts that you think. You have full control over the kind of thoughts that you keep in your mind. You are in control of you, but actually the one in charge of where you are in life right now. What happens to you is your fault. If you're thinking negative thoughts, if you feel in a certain way, it's because you allowed certain thoughts to take control of your mind. Yeah, so once a negative thought lands in your mind, you have to be quick to uproot those negative thoughts by things like positive affirmation, things like reading your goals or writing your goals daily to remind yourself of the things that you want to accomplish, and that helps you to actually eliminate fear. So once you saturate your mind with the goals that you have to accomplish, your mind begins to self-actualize and believe you can actually do it. So your goal should be written down in personal format. Like, okay, let's say you want to make 100,000 naira in this current month. So instead of writing I want to make 100,000 or 100k, you can just write I make 100k. So when you say these goals to yourself every day, you begin to saturate your mind with positive thoughts, and that helps you to get positive results. Yeah, so it's very, very important that you fill your mind with such thoughts. And remember, you are the only one that can stop you. You are the only one that can come against your success. You are the only one that can come against anything you want to accomplish. So think about these things, and have structures in your life that helps you to prune out these weeds from your lives. Yeah, these negative thoughts. Have systems that prevent you from growing negative seeds in your mind. And I hope this video has been helpful or has been enlightening. And if you're a new viewer, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment if this was helpful. Drop a comment if you have any thoughts, or feel free to correct me in the comments section below. Let's have a discussion. If you have anything to add, please comment it below. So, and don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and share this video to someone who you think might need this video. I love you guys. Catch you in the next video.